Hi, my name is Ed Horne. I'm the Executive Vice President of Global Partnerships for WME-IMG, and thrilled to be here in Cannes with the Advertising Research Foundation.
Hi, this is Mark Rappin, Chief Marketing Officer of the Advertising Research Foundation. Let me just jump into it. I mean, you guys are primarily a cultural brand, a societal brand. Like, where does research play in the mix for you all?
It's important. It's increasingly important. You know, we play across all forms of culture, whether it's fashion or music or sports or entertainment or art or culinary, all kinds of different spaces. And to really be able to validate that to brands, to give them a comfort, you know, the safety that all brands are looking for, to be able to be in a position to be able to validate those opportunities through research and analytics to then drive strategy, critically important to what we do.
Yeah. So our careers had a near miss, as we talked about. We were both working with the NHL and left about a year apart. But during the time that you were there, and then I was the beneficiary of it, you did a lot to bring the NFL kind of from a Canadian sport into U.S. pop culture. Talk a little bit about some of what your accomplishments were there.
Yeah, you know, it was all about really building a connected brand that, in essence, was a media company. You know, in some ways, your games are your software.
Right.
You know, your venues are your hardware, and the ability to be able to deliver messages about the game. You know, it's all storytelling. You know, you need heroes and villains. You know, you need storylines, and you know, to me, sports and entertainment in its broader perspective, you know, it's the ultimate reality in television, right? So sports and the NHL was the beneficiary of being in a position where we really had the ability to be able to build a brand and build stories around that brand.
Right. I mean, we talk about that all the time with research, that without being able to create a story, I mean, just a pile of numbers, and the piles of numbers are getting bigger and bigger, but it's all about finding that story in it so that you can translate it into an idea, translate it into a strategy. It has to be a story to make the data work.
Well, and I think you hit on the point, which is the piece between data and analytics and the story is that strategy, right? And data for data's sake, who cares?
Right.
But the ability to use that to really inform strategy, really smart thinking, find that opportunity, and then be able to translate that into content, however you define content, that's really where the magic happens. And we're seeing increasingly with clients, whether it be on the talent side or the property side or on the brand side, that when you can really uncover that opportunity, clients don't care where it comes from. You know, if it's a good idea, somebody wants to watch it, somebody wants to buy it, somebody wants to engage in it, that's where I think these labels that are, you know, all beginning to mesh, that's why, you know, we're beginning to see some great traction in that area.
Yeah. Are the labels also beginning to mesh on the talent brand side? I mean, do you end up treating brands like celebrities and celebrities like products? And
yeah, for sure. You know, we as a 6,000 person global company that touches all forms of culture, part of the reason why the talent that we have is with us is because they're all multi-hyphenates now, right? So, you know, an actor wants to be a producer, wants to be a philanthropist, wants to be a business person, and all of that revolves in some way, shape, or form around, you know, a positioning or a potential communication, a brand.
Right.
So whether it's the work we do for AB and how they position the Bud Light brand, or it's Nick Jonas and how he's positioned as now musician, actor, philanthropist, it all has similar, you know, touch points.
What in the near future, I mean, the changes that are underway, what do you see really taking hold on and changing the way we look at things in the next couple of years?
I think there's two things, and one has been talked about all week long here, which is the advent of technology, AR, VR, how, you know, sort of the worlds combine and collide. But I think layered on top of that is something that we see a lot now, which is just like we talked about talent being multi-hyphenates, so are consumers. Just because you're a music fan doesn't mean that you're not a fashion fan or a fan of you know, a film or whatever it might be. So I think we're going to increasingly see, and we're focused on this, creating opportunities and experiences for the audience that marry those two things, so that there's not just a music festival or there's not just a film, but how do we create opportunities where it marries those interests and provides those experiences that then people are going to want to share out socially and digitally and all of those things.
You know, we really appreciate you spending so much time with us out here, and you know, I don't want to keep you, but we'd love to have you more involved in the organization and connect on a research level, and best of luck to the things that you're doing.
Great, thanks, appreciate being here.